Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here with Rubber Stamp Tapestry. Good way to start. Rubber Stamp Tapestry, and this is another design team project for them. So I'm going to be using two peg stamp sets. One has been out for a little bit, and it's a great basic set. Perfect layering circles. That's what it is. That's what it's called. These are just different sizes of solid circles. There are 5 in the set, going from a mini peg, small, medium, large, and extra large. All right, so we are going to use those. And then I'm going to use the Snowflake cookies. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh, this has got to be made possible. And this is one of their newer sets that has recently just been released. I will link, if I remember, I always forget, I'll link up there, down there, to the release video that I put together on all the peg stamp sets that are available. As you can see, I just turned on my camera, my phone, that's what I use to film, and I'm just going to go to town. So this may be long. I know I will, Gab, because it is what I do. But I do hope you enjoy it. I hope you stick around to see what we create. So here I just have a couple pieces of Nina cardstock. I'm going to use the largest in the Perfect Layering stamp set by Rubber Stamp Tapestry, and I'm going to pull in 2 archival ink that I want to use. Now you can use whatever. I was actually going to go a different way, but I changed my mind. So we're just going to stick with the archival inks because I have them out, and I am just going to stamp some of these circles. I'm going to stamp just a bunch. Now, I'm not worried about a solid coverage. I don't want it to be a solid coverage. I want it to be looking the way that it does. Now, I probably stamped too many of those out, but that's okay. Now I'm going to come in. This is also an archival ink as well. And I'm just going to real quick, because I will be cutting these out. Let's see here. I've got 5, I've got 11, and I think that is absolutely plenty. At least I hope. If not, we can always stamp more. So that is all I'm going to do there. Now, I will cut these off camera, but just so you can see, all I'm going to do, I'm going to come in with my cutter bees, and I'm just literally going to go right around the edge. I'm going to move the piece of paper as I cut, not moving the scissors except to close them. I am not worried if they are not cut perfectly, because we are going to fix that. So I will do this, as I said, off camera for that. Now, what am I going to do here? So I'm going to grab another piece. I'm going to keep those there so I don't forget. And now I'm going to pull these in, the Snowflake cookies. And I've chosen 3 of my inks with Gina K. I've chosen Powder Blue, In the Navy, and Ocean Mist. So I'm going to stamp 1 of each of the snowflakes. Now, I do want to make sure that there is space in between, and I will explain that shortly. Matter of fact, I think I actually want 1 more of the, there we go. My allergies are just kicking in. How about anybody else? Oh my goodness. And I think I want 2 of these. All right, now I am going to clean those off. If I continued from the lightest to the darkest, I wouldn't have worried about cleaning off my stamps. But since I am going into a lighter shade, we are going to make sure. And then we'll stamp 2 of these. So you can see, obviously, I have chosen shades of blue. It's just something that I see when it comes to snowflakes, but you can make these any color that you want. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to come in with my scissors. And I'm going to cut around them. Nothing too perfect, but I do want to get close to them. I want it to be wavy. I don't want it to I just don't want it to be a perfect circle. So you can see where I'm going with this, right? Cookie, frosting on top. So this is what we are going to be making. So now I'm going to go off camera and I'll be right back. Let me do all of this fussy cutting out. Please, nobody needs to see me do this, all this, cutting out. It's not even fussy cutting. But please, I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my pieces cut. I want to try something here, and you guys are going to watch it. So you can see what I'm making here. I'm making our cookies with the icing and the stamping that goes on top of it. So I need my clear. I want to see what happens. I tried this, actually, as I go to get my clear. I tried that with glossy accents. Now, you could do this, but it's got to be an archival ink. When I did it with the glossy accents, they reacted. So they kind of went all over the place. So I want to see what happens if I use a embossing pad. Let's use one that's really beat up because it's just something I'm trying to not have happen anymore. Yeah, that one's beat up. Here we go. So I have some of my Tombow Mono on here to stick these so that I can push them down into the Versamark ink. I'm going to open up my clear embossing powder. Now you're going to hear the obnoxiousness of my tool. And that is the look that I wanted. So what I did, you can see when it was really hot, I just dunked right back down into... Okay, this is crafting at its finest, people. Just at its finest. I just dunked it back into my clear embossing pot because I wanted to get the smooth edges. Now, hopefully this will come off. And it will. Awesome. And I'm going to set that aside. So that's what I'm going to do. I am absolutely loving that look. It looks like Christmas cookies that we make. Of course, I'm going to spruce them up a little bit. So I'm going to do the rest of these. Again, I'm going to show you one more. So I'm going to put this on the edge of this thing. The wooden stick. Wow. I cannot remember what this is called. Popsicle stick. That's it. I was going to say chopstick. Oh boy. you know, it's one of those days. Again, long video, didn't think it was going to be. Gabby, and now I'm losing it. So I have it on my popsicle stick again with my Tombow Mono. Put on there, let it dry, because then it becomes repositional. I'm going to push this down into my Versamark pad, and I'm using this one because it's just beat up. I don't know if those inks are going to move. I'm going to turn on my heat tool, and you're going to watch me. I'm going to keep on going in while it's still warm. I'm not going to attempt to talk over this. Now, once I do that, you can see I do it about 3 or 4 times, but you need to let it dry on here. But you can just see, let's see if you can see that glare, but you can see I have the rounded edges, and it just, you know, it looks like that icing that we did, and our inks don't run. So I'll try to just wiggle that off, and I'm going to set that down. So I'm going to do the rest of these off camera, and then I'll be right back, and we're going to build our card. See you soon. Okay, so note to everybody, just in case you wouldn't know this, do not put this and blow that into your pot of embossing powder or even close to it. It creates an awesome effect. But I still have some clear left. Yes. Okay. Just an FYI. So here are our little tiny frosting tops, which I think are just absolutely adorable. And now what I want to do is I am going to glue them onto these circles here. So again, we're giving the illusion of some sugar cookies. And of course, this is not... Okay. See, this is what happens when you don't put that pin back in there. All right. So I'm just going to set it down on top of these. So I have all kinds of different cookies here. Maybe some are sugar spice. I don't know. That's one thing. I am not a baker. I'm a cook. I like to cook. Now my sister, on the other hand, she is the baker. She's absolutely a phenomenal baker, actually. The only thing that I bake, so I have a very strong bond with Betty Crocker or Duncan Hines, any brand that's on sale. Yes, that's how I like to kind of say that. Now I am going to put these under an extremely heavy acrylic block. Because as you can see, they are just having all kinds of fun curling. And that's okay. And let's see, we're going to do this one. So I'm going to grab, I have 2 extra, yay. I think I'm going to find them. It's like glitter. I'm going to find this stuff all over the place forever. All right, so I'm going to grab those. Now let me grab a heavy. All right, so here's one. And I'm going to need another one on there. I don't have too many You know, those heavy acrylic blocks. It's kind of amazing. But let's see if that works. I should put like a heavy book on it. So yeah, so I just want those to dry flat. So we'll do that. All right, we'll just put that on there first for good measure. All right, let's see if I can. Yes. Get back underneath there. Okay. I don't want those to stick together, and I think that's what's going to happen. All right. So let's stamp our sentiment. So I have a piece of Desert Storm, and then this is my card base, and I've rounded the corners. Now for this, I was able to use one of these, and for this, I was able to do the bottoms with that, but two layers of 110-pound cardstock was not going to work with that, so I just used my scissors to trim it. So the sentiment that I'm going to use is from the Rubber Stamp Tapestry Winter Wishes stamp set. This is an unmounted stamp set, meaning it's just the red rubber, so you can either use Aleene's Tack It Over and Over on your acrylic block with the rubber, or you can get that Easy Mount foam, and it's got two different, you know, thicknesses now. Now the sentiment that I want to use says Baking Spirits Bright. I think it is just absolutely adorable. So we're going to use that. Now again, I am a red rubber person. I do love the way red rubber stamps. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm trying to do that. Yeah. So whenever I try to, when I cut these, I always make sure and I try my best to have a straight line somewhere on these so that I can somewhat get my image straight. Now, how can you avoid that? The best way to avoid it is to stamp it on a separate piece of cardstock, which I'm going to do. And I have that here. Now I'm going to use brown. And that is going to be charcoal brown. And I'm going to make sure my stamp is inked up. And I'm going to stamp that down here. All right. And now I'm just going to grab my scissors. Now, again, I could grab a trimmer and everything else, but I'm good just eyeballing it. Using my long shears. And if it's crooked, I'm good with it. Again, I just think it adds to it. Again, homemade cards. Now, you know what I'm going to say. We are not Hallmark. You know, those are manufactured. You knew the vintage photo was coming in, right? I'm just saying. You know, we don't. Do we do awesome production lines? Oh, yes, we do. Absolutely, we do. But again, we don't. It's not what our true intention is. So again, have fun with it. You know, let those perfections go. Doesn't have to be perfect. Matter of fact, when we make things perfect, people may not believe us when we say this was homemade. And remember, when there's an imperfection, it makes it even more unique. I used to tell myself that when I had my other shop, the quilting shop. If there was an imperfection, that made it even more unique. And it's a true statement. I mean, because nobody else is going to do that same, you know, mistake. I mean, they can try. All right, so I'm going to set that there. All right, so now hopefully these should be okay now. Yeah, now I am going to go around each of these with the vintage photo. So see, it looks like vanilla and chocolate cookies. But yeah, you would have thought with the accent or the glossy accents going over the top, you know, oh, that would be great. Yeah, no. The ink just bleeds right all over the place. You really can't tell. And then it's funny when you put, I had the navy blue underneath it, and when that bled through the gloss, I wish I still had it. I would show it to you what happened. It actually turned purple underneath. It wasn't navy blue anymore. And this color, you couldn't even see it. It just faded away. It was just absolutely gone. So, yeah, no. So now what we're going to do, we are just going to have some fun putting our cookies on our sheet. All right, I'm going to put that there. No, I want to put that. No, yes. All right, so we're going to do that. I'm going to put that. I need another one. Da, da, da. All right, we're going to put that one there. We're going to put that one there. I'm going to put this one here. Take that one off to the side. Just having fun with my arrangement, as always. I do want some of them to go off the page so that it doesn't look so forced in any way. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I need to put one more in there. Can't have, you know me, I cannot have an even number. If you see my videos before, can't have it. Not gonna have it. Nope. Okay, so that's how that is going to look. All right, so now it's going to look like that. Yes. Now, you could use your dimension to push these up. I am just going to use my liquid glue and push those down. And anything that's coming off of the edge will be cut off. Now, I am going to put the acrylic blocks, back over these so that I can get some pressure down onto these. Again, your embossing discs will curl. going to push that down. I'm going to put that one over here. And then I'm going to put this one over here. Because of course I put my sentiment down first. And that's raised with some. And I'm going to put my own whiting there. Well, that should keep them flat forever. And then it should be good. So I just want that to sit there just a little bit. Now I am going to take some vintage photo going around there, of course, and then we are just going to adhere that onto the front of our card. All right, let's do some cutting. Again, I do always like to cut from the back. I am going to use my heavy duty shears because again, I am cutting through a thick layer of embossing powder. So make sure you take your time. Make sure your scissors are sharp. Don't go too quick because it can shift. This paper is moving as I'm cutting through it. And again, do not cut your finger. So hopefully I won't do that, so everyone on video won't be able to see this. I'm trying to also put my fingers down where that cookie is so that it does stay in place. I'm going to take those off my shears and I want to clean those up. Got lots of glue going on there. All right, let's come in with our vintage photo around the edge. And I just want to do one more thing. I'm going to cut a rectangle. All right, and I am going to do some splatters, absolutely. Because I just think that background needs just a little bit of something. So I am going to take my vintage photo, and I'm going to put some down there. And I want to take some of my white. This is my Dr. P.H. Martin's. It is a bleed-proof white. Now, by all means, you can also use white gesso, acrylic paint. Now, if there's a background of like watercolor or distress oxides, anything that will react with water, it will take on that color if you use your gesso or acrylic or something like that. So just keep that in mind. Now I'm okay if the splatters get on top of the cookies, only because it's just going to wipe off. It's going to do its own resist. I want the brown to just be something that will go into the background, so the splatters from the vintage photo will just get lighter as we go. I do like white splatters. And again, we're just going to add those. They are going to mix in with the vintage photo, which I think will look absolutely cute. And yes, I make a mess when I craft. I'm just going to move this off to the side, and we're going to wipe all this up. See, it cleans right up. It's the beauty of towels. It's the beauty of a craft mat. Everything can be cleaned. All right. I am going to take my heat tool to this, and I do want to dry that. I want to be careful. I want to be quick because I don't want to recurl any of those. So I will be right back once that is done. Here is our card. I am loving those splatters. They're not completely dry, but I am just absolutely loving those. I'm loving the way that that sentiment's just popping up. So with the snowflakes, it's like a snowstorm. Yes. See? So I do hope you enjoyed this project. It's just, again, a different way to stretch your supplies. Look at, you know, take it for what it is. You have snowflake cookies. Oh, we made little tiny cookies here, like those when it comes to the royal icing. That's what it's called. My sister always makes me do these, and mine look absolutely horrible. So I do hope you enjoyed this. As always, all the products that I use will be listed down below. And if you have any questions, make sure you put those down below as well. And I'll make sure I get back to you as soon as I can. If you haven't already, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button, be part of our group, and make sure you hit that bell so that you know when the next video is live. I do try to do 3 videos during the week, and then there are 2 videos on the weekends, and that focuses on journals and how to put those together, from choosing your papers to sewing them together. Hope you are enjoying your day. Continue to stay safe and healthy as we all continue to get through our journey together. And that's a key word. We are doing it together. But remember, what's most important for me, do it a little bit each and every day, and it doesn't matter what it is. Do something for yourself. Always be creative. Till next time, guys. Take care.